Hey kids, dreamers and jammers, welcome to another Park Streamers Hangout. We are ready to give a great show to all of you tonight, and we hope that you're just as excited as we are because we're going to be talking about some really cool topics, including D23. But before we get into that, why don't we go ahead and say hi to our other co-hosts here. We got Cordy in California. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good.
Awesome. We got Theme Park Casual. How you doing, sir?
Good. Hey, kids.
Awesome. Well, why don't you guys tell us where we can find you, starting off with Cordy.
Of course. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, and my Discord.
Awesome. Very cool. And Theme Park Casual, where we can find you?
Oh, you can find me on YouTube, X, and Instagram, all of them at Theme Park Casual.
It seems like you have a lot less. What's going on here?
Try to keep things streamlined, and even on those ones, I hardly keep anything updated. So,
right. And you can find me at BarryPlays28 on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, X, and Facebook. And with that, why don't we go ahead and say hi to everyone in the chat? And by the way, we just gifted 5 Park Streamers Hangout memberships, by the way. Apparently we got those back. So, and you know what? I think we're going to gift 5 more because we have another 5 to gift before the end of the month here. So, by the way, yeah,
So
by the way,
John Corndog received a gifted membership. Wheels 2025. Is it Akure? And Tommy I5, Eric Jones, and Drum Parks.
Very cool. Congratulations, everyone.
Dreamy.
Dream? Is it Dreamy?
Dreamy?
Well, Dreamy?
Dreamy Parks.
Congratulations.
And we also have Vixen Sky 007, who became a member. So
thank you, Vixen.
For Vixen Sky.
Yep. And you can catch Vixen Sky and Vash Sky on the Vash Sky Parkcast. There we go.
But we also have mystery guests. We've got EXP626. We got Jetta J, Disney Grants, Kelly DiMaggio, Spencer Walker. I see Teacher Tammy D, Buddy Heather, welcome in. OG Heather, Barbara
speaking
Duncan.
of OG Heather, look, she's got 2 months of being a member with us, and she says, love the Park Streamers Hangout.
Yeah, and flags in the chat for OG Heather. And I believe Teacher Tammy D had a milestone chat.
17 months. Time flies when you're having fun.
17 months. That sounds crazy for some reason.
I know, it does.
All right. Who else do we got in here? Do you guys find anybody?
Well, we have one more member milestone. Aaron
Ford. And
member for 1 month. Thank you.
Wow, that's so awesome. Very, very cool.
All right. I see Eric Schwartz in the chat. We got Jennifer Beausoleil. Welcome in. We've got scrolling through. Let me find
Anne DiMaggio and Kelly DiMaggio. I'm not sure if you already called them out, but
I think I got Kelly, but not Anne. But welcome in. Got Matt, Adventures with Roto Commish.
Some guy named Chad Pritchard. Hey, what's going on?
Dark Ride Arts.
Got BB6 Slappy. And hey, good vibes.
Good vibes. Journeys Out Loud. Oh, Hope. Can't even speak. Hope Blamars is here. Hello, Hope.
We got Nick. Is it W1721?
Did we get Twish?
No, Pirate Queen Twish. Welcome in.
Twish.
And Cool Drummer.
Welcome in. DA.
He is so cool. Oh, DA. What's happening, DA?
Tony Lopez, welcome in.
Hi, Tony.
Good to see you, Tony. Dark Ride Arts. Hey, what's happening, bud? Hope everyone had a good Monday.
Adventures with Roto Commish.
By the way, can we say kudos to Dark Ride Arts, who did a phenomenal job with the brand new restaurant they have. It's a new chicken restaurant over there in Knott's Berry Farm. It's really cool. He did a great job. So did everyone else that worked on that. So yay.
Yeah, his artwork is in the restaurant. So when you guys go and go to the restaurant to check it out, be sure to check out all the artwork on the walls. That is Dark Ride Arts and a bunch of his buddies as well.
Yeah. And don't forget to go follow him on Instagram, Dark Ride Arts, and YouTube. Very, very cool. Let's see. What else do we have? I think we're caught up now.
I think so.
So.
Yeah, that's why we said, and all the rest of the team there, Dark Red Arts. Good vibes. What's happening? Good vibes. I have not said that in a long time. I miss you, good vibes. Good vibes. What's happening? Good vibes. You know, it's so funny when I say that. Ariel looks at me and she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "It's good vibes. I gotta say good vibes." She always laughs. Oh, Roto Commish, what's happening?
Did we get DA?
Yeah, we definitely said hi to DA. And did we say hi to Animal? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think, in our last. Yeah. But hi, Animal. Disney Grands.
Hello, Disney Grands. All right, I think we're caught up now.
I think so.
Wait, as Hope would say, woohoo!
Yeah, we made
it. And we're going to be talking about D23. And I want to say it was great. I got to hang out with Hope and her mom for most of the day with Ariel on Sunday. It was a lot of fun. We hung out with them a little bit on Saturday, but most of the day on Sunday. And I think I said woohoo more than I've ever said before. But you know, what's so cool is I got to see her do the Main Street Electrical Parade with Bill Rogers, who does the voice or used to.
Oh wow, nice. That's really cool.
And his wife Camille Dixon did the electronica for Hope as well as the Main Street Electrical Parade. So it was really cool being able to see her interact with some of those well-known people in the Disney universe. So. All right. Well, with that, let's go ahead and talk about D23 because we have a lot to discuss. So let's go ahead and jump into that. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. We're going to focus mainly on the announcements that were made at the showcase, but at the Disney Experiences showcase. But the Horizon experiences inside were really, really cool as well. So we'll talk about that a little bit as we're talking about these showcases, but we'll focus mostly on Disneyland and Walt Disney World. Obviously, if you go to the Disney blogs page and you go up here to D23 2026, you click on that, it'll take you here. It'll actually show you the whole entire show if you want to watch it. And you can also watch it on Disney Plus, but they'll give you the whole performance. Obviously, Neil Patrick Harris was the person who hosted the Disney Experiences announcements. And let's go ahead and jump into Walt Disney World first, and then we'll spend more time focusing on, I think, Disneyland, because we have a lot more to say. What was really interesting is when I was there, they had this area that said villains, and they showed 2 trees on the side with these 2 clay model trees of the Dark Forest. And that's all it said. And what did they announce at D23? Villains is called Villains Land. I think we all knew that. So that was it. They really didn't discuss anything in detail there, but they did have the whole model for 2 Piston Peak rides coming to the Magic Kingdom soon, and one looks exactly like the Tomater ride that you see at CA, and the other one is this one here, which is going to be the brand new. Oh, sorry, that first one's called Miss Fritter's Daredevil Spin Along. Again, it looks just like what we have at DCA. And then, of course, we have the Cars Ridge Rally Run that's coming out. Now, I will tell you, the model looked amazing, and this whole land looks really, really cool. They actually had the model set up so you could see Big Thunder. You could see the end of where Tiana's was. So you're literally going to be walking by those 2 rides, and you'll get to experience this really huge world. It's going to be huge. It's going to be big. Now, one of the cool things, and actually, let me do this real quick. One of the things that they were doing at the show is when you went to the showcase building, when you walked in, they would give you, and I'm going to have to take my background off. Give me one sec. Oops, that's not it. That's it. So they would give you this really cool ticket to enter the Imagineering Horizons, which is really, really cool. And I got several of these. So I got one for Danny and Cordy, of course, but I will be also giving some of these away on my channel. But as you go throughout the booth, sometimes they would give you things like this. And this is an actual picture of the Piston Peak postcard they were pitching. Sorry, this is the actual postcard they're passing out. It's a picture that they had up on the wall talking about Piston Peak and where the wilderness calls. And that was really neat. They were, passing out postcards. You don't see postcards very much. Look, you can put your stamp on. But when you went
Those
to
are
this,
like $7 in the parks now for some reason. Have you guys seen that?
Wait, hold on. I got that beat because they had on sale D23 postcards. These postcards right here, and it's got all of these on the back. How much do you think these postcards were, or they went for? There's literally 10 of them.
That's got to be at least $20.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, close. $16.99. I was like, what? Are you kidding me? $16.99 for this? So I bought 2.
Of course.
Well, no, I bought 2 because I'm going to be doing some giveaways for my channel and stuff. But anyhow, so crazy that they were charging that much. But of course, it's Disney. So anyhow, you walk in. Let me go back to that tab real quick. Here we go. So you got to see a big, huge model of the ride and attraction. It did look really, really cool. It looked way better than this. This looks relatively small compared to how the model actually was. And of course, this was just a quick concept art they were showing, but it is going to be huge. Now, obviously, I'm disappointed because they are not going to have the Rivers of America over there anymore. But it was kind of cool seeing that come together, and they did show what the cars look like. They look very much like the concept cars you see here. And then, of course, they talked about the ever-changing Carousel of Progress, which was really neat. They showed what the dad would look like in Act 1. They showed what the mom looked like in Act 4. What's cool is they're starting off in the 1960s now. So that's really cool. Obviously, Bryan Cranston's going to be voicing the voice of the dad, which is really, really cool. But they're trying to bring it more towards the future. And of course, they didn't show anything about this at D23, but they're going to have an animatronic Walt in the very, very beginning of the show now that they're going to add. So they're adding one to Walt Disney World. What are you guys' thoughts about that?
Carousel of Progress, even though it's a classic, I feel like that's one that Walt would have constantly updated as well.
Yeah.
So as long as they stay true to the spirit of the attraction, I guess I'm okay with it. Mm-hmm. That's really how I look at it. Is they're not? I mean, it just feels like it's one that is supposed to be updated constantly. So I can't really fault them for it.
Cordy?
I agree. Yeah, I think it was a good choice of the voice actors and things like that. So, and I've never been there, so I don't know. I mean, I know it's one of those sacred ones, but
I feel like we need to do a Park Streamers Hangout and Park Stream over Walt Disney World.
Or Singapore
or yeah, sure. We can go to Shanghai or Hong Kong or Tokyo,
overseas.
Singapore. It's all the same. But what I do like about this one is that they are updating it and starting it at Act 1 in the 1960s, Act 2 is in the 1980s, Act 3 is the new millennium, and of course Act 4 is the possible future. So, and that's something they've always done, but before it would start off like in the 1800s and move on up. So it's nice to see that they're, moving up in the years to try to, get a little bit closer to, what we've done and what.
Now, see, okay, let's nitpick. Let's armchair Imagineer a little bit, and why wouldn't they start way back and using the current technology, kind of move the set forward with projections and stage magic a little bit, and be able to accelerate what they used to take 3 acts to do, accelerate that in 1, but show a progression while it's happening. Well, we can have an animatronic pirate. Why can't we have, or like a projection face pirate? Why can't we have appliances and things that suddenly shift while we're watching?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be cool. What I thought about too is how they have the animatronics on the side that they end up showing, mm-hmm. whether it's the daughter or the grandmother or the mom, whatever. They could have done something like that too, where they said, "Oh, hey, this is how things were, and by the way, now we've got this," and then that comes up on the other side, and it flips. So they could do something like that, obviously, mm-hmm. But Yeah, I hear you. They could have done, but it sounds like they kind of went with the easy route of, hey, here's 60s, here's the 80s,
Right.
here's the new. So, and I think, well, and you think about it, you got a time constraint too. I don't know, but I totally get where you're coming from. It would have been neat if they could have done that, but they're not.
Like I said, just armchair Imagineering. As you know, I don't have a budget to deal with.
Yes, that is true. One of the cool things is they showed Rover, and Bob Gurr was there. He talked about how he actually worked on Rover for the Carousel of Progress back in the day. Yeah, and so that was kind of neat. I like how the new outfits and costumes are. You see for Dad, he's actually wearing the costume. I think that's the one for Act 1, and she's wearing the costume for Act 4 in this picture here with Rover. So, and that's the new attraction poster. All right. But again, not a whole lot of details other than they're going to bring it out next year in 2027. So that's, less than a year away. So that'll be really, really cool. Yeah. And then for Epcot, they're going to bring back Figment. And they said that Figment's going to embark on a new journey into imagination. Not a whole lot of details. It was like, they're bringing him back. Okay. And he's going to have a new journey. Also, Spaceship Earth is to receive a reimagining. And so this is kind of I don't know how you guys feel about it. Obviously, I've talked to Spaceship Ears, John, because obviously his father was, deeply involved in Spaceship Earth. But they didn't provide really any information. So it kind of makes me a little concerned because I hope that they're going to do something cool. It's always been, as you work your way up through the ride, you're seeing different types of, times in history and whatnot. They've always had different narrators, but this is a new chapter. So what's the new chapter going to be? Are they going to be like, Carousel of Progress, where they're just going to leap forward, many, many years? Or are they, because I always felt like they were doing that anyhow. John, when I talked to him, he always felt like the weakest part of the ride, and his dad felt the same way, was coming down. At the once you get to the top, you come back down, and there's not a whole lot to the ride compared to going up. But they didn't really say what they were doing. So, and I know, Cordy, you haven't been on it, but Danny, you've been on it, correct?
Way back in the year 2000, yeah. God, that's so
way
long
back then
to say that.
Now. That was a long time ago, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, the ride is definitely dated. They could definitely update the ride vehicles and whatnot. They could definitely update the narration. They've had different narrators over time. They had Walter Cronkite, then they had what's his name, Jeremy Irons, and then now Dame, what's her name? I can't think of her name now. Judi Dench. Thank you, Dame Judi Dench. So she's the one that's doing the current narration. So maybe they'll update the new narrator. Who knows? But I'm kind of interested to see what's going to happen with that ride. But also, I hope they don't, destroy what the ride was, since it's a whole new chapter. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, we'll have to see. It's one of those things where, hopefully the people they have working on it understand the history and significance of these attractions. And, like I said, it's more, you got to stick to the spirit of it, where it's like, you're not trying to undo things and, not, poo-poo the history of it. It's more of, saying, okay, we understand what this one was doing, but it's time to, like it says, the next chapter, and bring it a little bit more forward.
Right.
So I as much as it makes me nervous, because it is such a classic attraction, I have to just say, it's part of that, chasing the future kind of thing, where if you don't update it, it's no longer serving its purpose the way it's supposed to. So,
So the other thing they announced is that Disney Hollywood Studios, they're going to do a Monstropolis, and we've known that. I was talking to some of the Imagineers, and they were talking about how they're trying to make Monstropolis like this. Like when you walk into Walt Disney World, the first thing you see is a castle, right? Down Main Street, it's a big thing. Well, they're trying to do the same thing with Disney Hollywood Studios. Back in the day when they had, the whole Muppet area, it was kind of eclectic. A lot of people went through the back way. Some people went through the front way. They're trying to make it so that when you walk in, the big building you see is the big building where the roller coaster is going to be. obviously you're going to see, Harryhausen's and a bunch of other things you would see there, Monstropolis. And I will say, I love the maquettes they had on display. They were really cool, of the three-eyed, it was like three-eyed squirrel with three tails. And they had a couple other, they had like a two-headed pigeon with teeth and horns, which were, kind of funny looking and whatnot. So I think that it'll be really cool looking. They didn't provide a lot of information. Of course, a lot of this, they didn't provide a lot of details or information. Just saying that it opens up in 2027. Did look like they were making a lot of progress go, so that's really cool. Obviously, at Disney's Animal Kingdom, you had the new Encanto ride. And this one was cool. It looks like it's going to be exactly like Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway and Rise of the Resistance, with the way that the ride vehicles are. Although I'd be interested to see if they're able to go up a stairway like that in this ride. But maybe it'll be illusion. I don't know. But it did look really, really cool. And obviously, this is called Antonio's Fiesta de Encanto. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Again, not a lot of details, but they did show like one scene where you're kind of going through the house and you see some of the animals that you would see, in Antonio's room. So I thought that was really, really cool. And then they also had, let's see. Oh, I guess they're not showing it here, but I thought they were going to show the carousel. There's also a carousel. Now, I don't know. Oh, here it is right here. It's they actually showed that they're going to have different characters from different Disney movies on this carousel. Yeah. And this carousel had like Eeyore and the pelican from Finding Nemo. It had the capybara from Encanto. What else did it have?
It had Kevin from Up.
Yeah, it had a cat. Yeah. What else did they have? Kevin from Up.
I think it had the pig from Moana.
Oh yeah, Pua. Mm-hmm. Yep. So they had quite a few different characters that are going to be from other movies. I thought it was kind of interesting that they put them here in Tropical Americas, because it's like, well, we're in Tropical Americas. You think that they would have more animals geared towards the Encanto movie, kind of like with Jesse's, Critter Carousel or something like that, where it's kind of, or when they had the King Triton's carousel, it was all geared towards Little Mermaid. But it seems a little weird and eclectic. But I will tell you, the animals look really cool. They almost look like Jim Shore animals or statues that you're going to be riding on, which are kind of cool. So I did like that. That was kind of neat. And then the other thing in Tropical Americas is you're going to have the new Indiana Jones ride. Now, I will tell you, on the second day I was there, I got to see Joe Rohde. He was actually talking about this attraction. He really didn't say anything about the attraction. They were talking about how they were working with an archaeologist who's down there in Mexico, who's a very well-known archaeologist for the Mayan archaeology and basically, or culture. And he basically talked about how the Mayan culture is going to be represented in this ride and how it's true to form. And this is the truest form of the Mayan culture that's ever been presented at a theme park. So that was kind of interesting to hear. Obviously, they did announce this. And let's see if we can bring this up.
Hello, D23. Thanks for coming along on all of Indy's adventures. Soon it'll be time for his next ride. And I'm pleased to share that for the first time ever, I'm the actual model of the Indiana Jones animatronic, fear of snakes included. I'm excited for you to see his next epic adventure, and I'm coming to Walt Disney World soon.
So that's kind of cool, because they never did really model the Indiana Jones after Harrison Ford for Indiana Jones and the Temple of the Forbidden Eye. So that's kind of exciting. What do you guys think?
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was letting you go ahead.
Ladies first.
I love Harrison Ford, so yay.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good when you can include the original actor that portrayed the character. So that's good, and hopefully he's actually enthused about it and not like, sure, I'll take a paycheck.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, what I was thinking too, if they're signing him on for this, do you think maybe they're signing him on so that they can, when they do an update on our Indiana Jones, they'll be able to put the same replica of him over on our ride? Maybe.
I don't know. I mean, for stuff like that, I believe the actors union, whenever it's a likeness, you've got to be paid for it. So it's up to
right.
Disney.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe they have him sign this contract so that they're going to do it for both attractions. That would be kind of cool. Oh, we'll see
if it's in the budget.
Well, they did show it. The name of the ride, it's called Indiana Jones and the Myth of the Jade Serpent, and they did show. So one of the things that I always liked about D23 is that the next day after the showcase, the Disney Experiences showcase, they would always show several items in the Imagineering area that were announced that they brought out. Maybe it was a new model, maybe it was something new, about the ride or attraction, and it was always neat. They hardly put out anything the next day, but one thing they did put out was they put out an updated video that they were showing from the day before where they showed the Jade Serpent, and they had one on display. So they were showing this in the video. So this is the Jade Serpent. By the way, the Jade Serpent was considerably large compared to, oh, they're not showing it here. My phone's charging right now, but compared to like the Jade Serpent was like up here, right? And the person's like down here. So it's going to be a huge Jade Serpent. So we'll see. But that's it for the Indiana Jones ride. And then of course they announced that they are going to update the Yeti audio animatronic and that it's coming back to life inside Everest. Now I've only known and experienced Disco Yeti with the strobe light. I've never seen him work like he did before. I've seen videos of it, obviously, and it was amazing. Did you ever get to see him work, Danny?
No, yeah. that was after I'd been there.
So just to let you guys know, what happened was they built this amazing, huge Yeti, but unfortunately the structure that he's on started affecting the inside of the mountain. And so they had to stop him from moving because he was actually destroying the inside. And so they were afraid that it would, collapse or something would happen. So they basically put a strobe light on. So when you went by him, the strobe light would go off. You'd still see the Yeti, but he was not actually moving. So now they're going to go back and try to fix it, which I think is great. I'm so glad they're doing it, but they didn't announce anything other than, hey, we're going to fix this thing. So we have no timeline or date on this at all. But I mean, I know you haven't experienced it, Shauna, but does that look cool to you? Are you excited about that as well?
Yeah, I would love to go on it. That's like if I make it out there, that's one of the things I'm looking forward to.
It's my favorite ride at Animal Kingdom, and I will tell you, it's a lot smoother than Matterhorn.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Well, it's considerably newer. So
yeah, it is. That's for sure too. But it's really, really cool. So that's what they announced for Walt Disney World. Let's go ahead and just jump right into Disneyland, because I think that's what we really want to talk about, because the first thing we're going to talk about is Tomorrowland. So let's jump into that, because I think that Cordy and Danny, you guys have a lot to share about this announcement, because they came out and said, we listened to you and we are going to redo Tomorrowland. And everyone went, yay! That's it. And then
that's all you get.
That's all you get. Mm-hmm. So, Cordy, what do you think about this? I mean, I was hoping to hear some details.
Yeah, I think my personal thought is that, I mean, everyone has been talking about this since the park opened back up, right? Like, so they're just trying to quiet us down a little. They have no clue what they're going to do besides the Autopia going electric. But, I mean, I'm going to keep hope alive for the People Mover. I just, if we just keep saying it, maybe we'll get it. But I wasn't surprised that we didn't get any more than that, because it's been crickets and then.
Yeah, right? And then bang.
Well, Danny, what do you think about the fact that they didn't give us any details?
I think Cordy's right that they don't know what they're doing yet. That it's they probably have some blue sky ideas, that they've been kicking around. And personally, for me, this was the biggest announcement only because of what happened after. And I don't know if we're okay with doing the reveal of the what Scott Gustin said. But like that next Monday, Scott Gustin was reporting that the announcement of Tomorrowland, not only is it, oh my gosh, we're getting Tomorrowland, it is actually going to be done before they do Avatar in DCA. So that's what made it very interesting to me from a couple of points of view. From number one, it's kicking Avatar down the line a little bit. So that makes me wonder, is Avatar long for this world? We shall see. I'm thinking they're probably still going to do Avatar. I think they may be debating whether or not the original idea of where they're going to place it is going to be the final spot for it. The new Tomorrowland also means they're listening to the fans, which if you look at everything that was announced this year at D23, it feels a lot more theme park fan specific. It seems like it's aimed at theme park fans, not, franchise fans or movie fans or anything like that. It's people that love the parks were kind of going nuts with a lot of these announcements.
Yeah.
Especially the stuff that the newer stuff. I mentioned when I did a quick wrap up on this, I did a talk about it, and it feels like this was Tomorrow's chance to kind of step out of Iger's shadow. And a lot of the stuff that Iger was putting in place was movie centric, it was, partnering with James Cameron and stuff like that. And so it feels like him and Thomas Maslum both were president of Disneyland and, parks guys. I'm hoping this is my hope. I have nothing to base this on other than, what we're looking at and what we've heard. I'm hoping that they're parks guys at heart, and they're going to basically take the parks and make them the jewel of the company and let the parks kind of shine and be where everybody has their connections, and let the studios fine tune what they're doing and make sure that the product that they're putting out is top quality again, so that they're not just churning out movies that, it's like if they're going to be churning out movies, they're not going to be big release kind of things and pouring tons of money into them. But the movies that they do release are going to be hopefully top quality type of movies. So, and with this is the only artwork that we have. I think it's safe to say that nothing is safe except for Space Mountain and the monorail. Everything else, who knows? They could bulldoze it. When they mentioned open space, I'm looking at that going, well, if anybody has walked the parks, especially at the busy times, where's the pinch point in Tomorrowland? The entrance. You got to move Astro Orbiter if you want to open up space. That's the only spot where you really think, oh my gosh, this is such a pain, because, parade's over and you got to circle around Astro Orbiter just to get to Frontierland. So
I agree with you. But before we continue on, I want to say hi to a few other people who joined us. So welcome in Pete McDevitt show. If you guys aren't following our good friend Pete McDevitt, he has a great show, and mods, if you can share his link, I'd appreciate it. And of course, we've got Popcorn Candy, and we've got GV559. Did I say that already? Did we say that already? Hi, GV559.
Earlier.
Okay.
But Krista Joe
Bingo.
joined.
Krista Joe. It's her birthday, by the way.
Oh, happy birthday, Krista Joe. That's right.
It's Krista Joe's birthday. And wait, it's Mitch's Art's birthday as well. So happy birthday to Mitch. We got James in there too. Hey, James. So, and we got Fire Dragon 57. By the way, she said, here's the problem. There's no timeline, no idea given of what they're going to do. I think they're going to get rid of Autopia and submarines and maybe bring back the People Mover over Harbor. Sounds like a conversation we had, Fire Dragon 57.
Interesting, yeah.
We got, I think Geofire showed up, and we've got Scooby Bingo.
Nice.
We've got TJ Magnafee.
Yep. Oh, we got a good friend, Brian Sevilla. Welcome in, Brian. Guys, if you're not following him, check him out too.
We got Yoo-Hoo.
Yoo-hoo.
And Mike Skellington, who
Mike Skellington
said earlier, you know, for Tomorrowland, why don't we just put a Haunted Mansion land? But, you know. We'll see,
Mike would want to put a Haunted Mansion in every single land.
Yeah.
Let me. Dark Ride Art said Artopia had a good run. So let me tell you real quick what I thought too, because I was so disappointed. It was like, yes, because I told you guys 2 years ago, it was predicted by my sources and myself that they were going to announce that they're going to redo Tomorrowland, but it's not the revision we want. It's going to be People Mover's going to come back, but everything else is getting a quick facelift, and that's it. The problem we have here is that you've got a lot of old buildings that are there, right? A lot of the buildings from 1955 are there, or shortly after, and some of these buildings have been reused. And I did happen to run into Tim O'Day, who's been on our show with Martha Blanding, and Tim said, "You like the submarines?" I said, "Yeah, I love the submarines." He goes, "Who goes on the submarines?" I'm like, "I go on the submarines. I love them." And he goes like, "But okay, besides you, who really goes on the submarines?" I'm like, "Okay, I get your point." And he goes, "Do you really go on some of the other rides or attractions and whatnot?" And I'm like, "What's your point there, Tim?" And he's like, "Well, really?" He goes, "I think what they need to do is I think they need to bulldoze the whole entire land." And I was like, "Well, okay, that's a crazy idea right there." And he goes, "Including Space Mountain." I'm like, "Whoa, you're talking about my ride there. That's my favorite ride, Space Mountain." And he goes, "Well, think about it." He goes, "The ride is getting old again, right?" He goes, "You think about it, they replaced the ride or the track back in 2005. So now it's over 20 years later. They replaced it after almost 30 years, I think it was, before they finally replaced it. So he's like, it's time, for them to do it again. What if they just bulldoze the whole thing and redid it? What if they reimagined what John Hench did and did something like Tokyo?" And I was like, yeah, that does sound kind of cool. And I was thinking about that. What if they did, reimagine Space Mountain? And then I started thinking about it too. We've got this deadline for Autopia, and Dark Ride Arts reminded me here in that comment is that they have to, by February of next year, they have to convert all the cars over to electric. Well, they have expanded Autopia. What if they decided to redo that whole area? What if they end up demolishing, some of the Autopia area and redoing it so it's shorter? Because I don't know if you realize it, but Walt Disney World and Disneyland Paris and many of the Disney parks, Autopia is really short compared to our Autopia. Right. Obviously, they expanded ours over the years. What if they made it smaller? And what if they, instead of trying to meet that deadline, they stop it and then the ride's not running? They reimagine Tomorrowland, and in that reimagining, they build a new Autopia with the new electric vehicles and cars and stuff. Really, the People Mover track is attached to the old buildings. So that's an issue too, because you can't really redo the People Mover on the same track, because they would have to, especially if they're going to redo some of these rides or attractions, they really need to separate the People Mover track from the buildings. So that's why I can see what Tim O'Day was talking about. Maybe just bulldoze the whole entire place, but we're talking about leveling that whole place and starting them from scratch, which they did it to Fantasyland, right? I mean, they did it in 1984 and it turned out great. I love the way it turned out. They kept a lot of the same rides and relocated them, or they redid or created some new rides. But I don't know, do you guys think that would be a viable solution to tear down the land and just start from scratch?
What say you, Cordy?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. I don't imagine, I just can't see them doing that big of a move like in the next 5 years. I don't know. Maybe, who knows? You know what?
Well, if you think about it, they're celebrating the 50-year anniversary of Space Mountain next year. So I'm sure they're not doing it next year. They've obviously said that, they're focusing on Coco. So they're going to finish that ride and attraction. I'm sure they're going to, probably take over Tomorrowland at that point.
That's where my mind keeps going back to is this all costs money. So all the projects we already have lined up, I couldn't imagine they would do that major overhaul like in the next. That's why I said 5 years. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Years maybe.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine them destroy, upending the entire land. I mean, unless, well, here's the problem is you'd be eliminating, let's see, Astro Orbiter, Buzz Lightyear, Star Tours, Space Mountain, Autopia, monorail, submarines. So 7 attractions.
Mm-hmm.
If they demolished all of them, how many of those, or what's the attraction count when it opens up?
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes me nervous. You'd have
Well,
Space
it
Mountain,
does.
monorail, obviously you'd have to have those. Some form of Space Mountain if they demolish it or keep it. The Star Tours make the cut. Now you have an entire Star Wars land. That's what I mean. Well, relocating, I don't think is. I mean, you're better off demolishing it and putting in a new one than trying to dismantle, relocate. Stuff that was built in in the 80s.
87 is when it opened. So 86.
So I think at that point you're probably they're better off, just rebuilding it. But why would you put a simulator right next to another simulator in Galaxy's Edge?
True. I wouldn't want that. I think, it'd be great to obviously add Tron. We talked about that. Obviously, I think they need to keep Space Mountain. They can't get rid of it. Obviously, they'll keep the monorail. They're not going to get rid of that. The submarines, I love the submarines, to be honest with you. And when I talked to Tim O'Day, I said, look, I love the submarines. I don't want to see that go away. He goes, well, I said, especially the lagoon. He goes, you can keep the lagoon. You just get rid of the submarines and clear up some space. I'm like, yeah, but the submarines go underneath Autopia. And he goes, true. He goes, but if you clear some of that space up and Autopia, what do you have now? And I'm like, well, more land. And he's like, yeah. So, and he's playing devil's advocate, obviously.
Right. And that's kind of how you have to look at it. It's like, okay, if you were to wipe it clean, what happens,
Right.
And we don't have any idea what kind of ideas the Imagineers might have. They could have, a completely new way of looking at the Tomorrowland and make it that retro look and completely wow us. I'm hoping.
Yeah, no, I see a lot of great comments in the chat, by the way, everyone, and we'll try to bring up a few of these, but Brian says, how do you keep attendance bulldozing the whole land? Well, they did it for Bugs Land, right? That was totally taken out, and they redid that for Avengers Campus. It's been done before.
They could potentially do it in phases.
Yeah, they could. And then, of course, Fire Dragon 57 also said they have all the land over there by where the old boat ride used to be. It's true. Yep. And they can really expand it out. Now, of course, that could be also part of Fantasyland if they wanted to be. Dark Ride Art said, I think it's the only way. And Chris Joe says, I think it makes sense. Let's see. What other comments do we have here? Aaron Ford said, I think if they did the demo, the whole land, they would need to gather public support of what could come. Well, and I think they'll eventually do that. To be honest with you, I think what's going to happen is I have a feeling that 2 years from now, they're going to finally announce, hey, this is what we're going to do for Tomorrowland. I really don't think that they're going to say anything or announce anything. And that's the one thing that's kind of frustrating about D23 and this, parks or experiences showcase is that every year or every 2 years, they announce what they're going to be doing and they give bit pieces. Now, here's my issue with that, especially at D23. You're charging people hundreds of thousands of dollars to go to the Honda Center to see this showcase. It was entertaining watching, Neil Patrick Harris do his thing and have a cool show. It was cool seeing some of these announcements. But if you're going to make these people pay all this money to go to the show, you better give them some substance. You better tell them more details. Give them some, and maybe make it exclusive so only they know it and get to see it. And, they don't make any announcements till the next day or something. I don't know. But they need to do something because I think it's ridiculous that they keep piecemealing stuff and not giving us enough details of what's coming. And granted, if they're, even if they said, you know what, Tomorrowland is being reimagined, People Movers are coming back, we'll have more details in the future. I think people will go, whoa, okay, People Movers come back. That's pretty awesome. But this was like, hey, we're redoing Tomorrowland because you guys have been waiting for it and wanting this for a long time. Great. What are you doing? Can't tell you. When is it going to happen? Can't tell you. No details. What? So that was the most disappointing thing about D23 is almost everything they gave us was almost very little detail about anything.
Yeah, that's why I think this was Tomorrow kind of taking the reins and steering the ship in a different, slightly different direction.
Mm-hmm.
So it's understandable why a lot of this stuff doesn't have any timetables, because I think it was, this is a 6-month-old, if that, idea.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
But I get what Brian's trying to say here, but
Yeah.
to me, look, you had America Sings, right? And then you had Carousel Progress, and you had America Sings, and then what was it called? Can't think of the last thing they finally added there before they did the Star Wars thing. You've had Mission or Flight to the Moon and Mission to Mars, and that's no longer there. You had that theater that's still there, but they don't really show anything there, even though it was Captain EO and then Honey, I Shrunk the Audience. And then you had, Adventures Through Inner Space. So there's been a lot of changes over the years. I agree with you. There's a lot of stuff that I loved back in the days. My dad, obviously, he's a baby boomer. He loved a lot of the stuff there. I loved a lot of stuff there, being a Gen Xer.
Tomorrowland is a shell of its former self. Let's just be honest. I think everybody looks at it and goes, man, when I was a kid, this was like the land to be in. And now you just kind of, you hit whatever attraction you're going there for, and then you kind of wander back out because there's not a whole lot to do other than hit the attraction and go.
It was cool because it felt like the future of tomorrow, because like you had the AT&T speaker booths, right? They used to go into, you had Circle Vision 3D, which had never been done before, and of course that's no longer there because it's a Buzz Lightyear ride, which obviously was the Rocket Rods line before that. But you can tell so many things have changed over the years. I'm not so concerned because that Tomorrowland is supposed to change. I think that Tomorrowland is supposed to be part of the future. I just don't feel like it's really part of the future anymore. It's just kind of like, hey, and this is the problem I had with Bob Iger. Everything was the IP. So we got Buzz Lightyear, Astro Blasters, right? Star Tours has been there for a long time, so no big deal. And the same with, Star Wars. But, it just felt to me like I want the rocket jets. That's what they used to be called instead of Astro Orbiter. I wanted those back on top of the building, where, and by the way, look how many things do not work or run anymore. Like, where the People Mover were above that, where the rocket ships used to be, you got those satellites. Those satellites haven't run in years, it's crazy. I don't know. Cordy, what do you think?
I just think they better have a plan if they keep raising the prices for the passes and the tickets. If they're going to shut down an entire land, then they need to be thinking about that side of it as well.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we'll still pay. That's the problem.
Well, we will see what happens. I think they're going to bring back the People Mover. I think we'll still have Space Mountain and the monorail. I'm just hoping that they update it so we get some of these cool things like Tron or whatnot. But I'm interested to see. I think the Autopia of the future is going to be the electric Autopia. But who knows? Maybe they're not going to redo the cars now. They're just going to wait until they redo Tomorrowland. But that would be a bummer if they took that right away. For a while, or maybe they'll pay the penalties. Who knows? To the state of California until they are able to.
Or they just realize that, Autopia is still fun, and so they're going to redo it with an electric fleet, and it'll just be part of the new Tomorrowland, and it'll just be, again, a slightly revised version of it.
Yeah. So this is the announcement that we did get, everyone.
Here you leave today and enter a world of yesterday, tomorrow, and fantasy. I think it's time to renew that promise once again in a way that deeply honors the original and imagines the future with optimism. And that starts with Tomorrowland. Soon, we will begin reimagining Tomorrowland with optimism you all have been longing for. New attractions, more open spaces, new places for you to dream about the future. You all know Walt said, Disneyland would never be completed, and those words continue to echo down through time.
One of the things they did mention is that they were going to have wider walkways. In fact, I'm not sure if it's mentioned here or not. No, it's not relationship, but they were talking about wider walkways and
Open
newer
spaces.
things, but yeah, open spaces. And I'm like, okay, well, there's no way to do that unless you demolish the place or you try to demolish some of the buildings. And it's possible that maybe they're just going to demolish some of the buildings, not all of the buildings,
Right.
Maybe they will just keep, Space Mountain the way it is. But yeah, there's just so many what ifs. So I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to be announced in the future. And it is nice knowing that, okay, they're finally going to do something about Tomorrowland, because I think we've all been, begging for this to happen for the last, 20 years. And so it's again, it's nice to see it's going to happen, but it's kind of a bummer that we don't have a little bit of information or tidbits, to say, hey, this is what we're doing, folks.
Right. And some of us still have the, memory of Tomorrowland 1998 and how that was going to be the big wow. And everybody went,
Right. Oh, steampunk version. Thanks. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Which I wouldn't mind a steampunk version, but just do it well.
Yeah. It was done halfway. It was done like
completely.
Yeah.
Halfway.
I mean, Space Mountain was done and the entrance was done, but other than that, nothing else was really done. Oh, in the where the American Scenes used to be, obviously that building. But yeah, they really didn't go all in. And it's funny because, we were talking to Spaceship Ears and his father on Danny's live stream and Spaceship Ears live stream. It was so cool listening to John Decour Jr. talk about, his working with John Hench and what they try to do and how that steampunk version really doesn't go with what Tomorrowland was supposed to be. That was really neat. So if you haven't seen it, go back and look at those live streams.
All right. So question for you guys. You are given the reins to do whatever. You have an unlimited budget. You can put one attraction into the new Tomorrowland. What do you do?
One new attraction?
You get one attraction that you get to infuse into the new Tomorrowland. What would you want to do?
I'll let ladies go first, Cordy. I know what I'm going to say.
More time to think. I haven't been on Tron, but that was the big buzz, was something like that. Or I almost feel like, I don't know, I want something spacey. I don't know. See, now I'm going to go back to, when I was a kid. Oh, back in.
But that's fine, because that's what the whole thing is. They're saying that it's yesterday's tomorrow today. So I'm assuming that's a retro Tomorrowland, that it's going to go back mid-century modern architecture and that's why I think Space Mountain is safe. That's why I think monorail is safe, because those would fit perfectly into that mid-century modern aesthetic again. So,
well, I've always said that I would love to see Adventures Through Inner Space come back. However, if I had to choose one ride and I can only choose one, I would bring the Tron attraction in. My only concern about the Tron attraction, it's a very short ride. I mean, it's less than a minute. That's how fast it is. It's crazy. It's an amazing ride. I loved it over at Walt Disney World, and it would be an amazing ride over here as well. I just hope that they would do a little bit longer version of it. If I had a separate choice, you know what I would do? I would redo Space Mountain. And I would make it more like Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, and not necessarily make it so that the cars move. They can still keep the same, the space cars, or coaster cars. But the way they make you go through space and the way you go around planets and things like that in Cosmic Rewind makes you feel like I feel like that ride is more relevant as a Space Mountain ride than what Space Mountain is today over at Walt Disney World or, Disneyland. Now they're reimagining the whole, Space Mountain over in Tokyo, and that looks amazing. I would love to see it kind of like that too. But the track and what you do in Cosmic Rewind is pretty sweet. Now, I'm not saying we want to, copy the whole Guardians thing. I just think it'd be neat if we were able to do some of the things that you're able to do. And the track is so smooth and so much fun to ride on. So I would love to see that. But my number one pick would probably be Tron to bring over to Tomorrowland.
Yeah.
And what about you, Danny?
After we install people mover. That's got to be a given.
Right, obviously.
I cannot imagine that they would do a Tomorrowland and not do a people mover. So my thing is always that we want different things to be able to reside within this land. So it's Tomorrowland, but you want room to run around in. I would kind of straddle Tomorrowland and Fantasyland, and I would put a Treasure Planet attraction.
Ooh.
Using the same technology as Forbidden Journey. I would go with that. Something that's, you know, pushing the limits with the thrills a little bit, but also giving a little callback and a little bit of a twist on that tomorrow space kind of thing. I have no idea what the storyline would be in an attraction like that, other than, you know, a book report type of ride. But I think that would be an interesting one, especially if you use the Forbidden Journey technology, because they do have that whole like windsurfing kind of aspect in Treasure Planet. But I think it could be a rollicking adventure.
As far as I'm concerned, I think they should, if you're talking about story, just follow the story of the movie, please. Because look what happened to Tiana's Bayou Adventure. That was
yeah, it's very difficult to do a ride that isn't a book report that feels as fun as it would be to do just a book report. You know, there's very, very few times does that ever work. In fact, when is a time that it does work? I'm trying to think. When do we have a non-book report attraction? I guess Toonspin. Toonspin would kind of be a non-book report. I guess. It's got elements of the movie and the feel of the movie, but it's not a book report. But it was a fantastic attraction. That's one that works, I think.
Okay. Cool. Well, I think we talked about this one quite a bit. Let's go ahead and talk about a couple other things. So they obviously talked about the new details for Avenger Campus and beyond. Now, I will tell you, they showed that Hong Kong Disneyland is also getting an Avengers Campus, and their building looks amazing compared to what we have for, the Avengers Assemble ride, or what's it called again? I think it's called the, where is it? Avengers Infinity Defense. So I think it's going to be a great ride. I think it's going to be fun. I'm still disappointed that they're just doing something that's already been done, like the Spider-Man ride and Transformers ride. I'm really hoping that they have some new special effects that really, add to the ride. What was interesting, though, is that it looks like there's only going to be a handful of the Avengers who are actually going to be talking to you. They're showing all the Avengers, and they're going to be in the ride or attraction, but there's only a handful that are actually going to be really, I guess, acting in the ride and
the ones that reprise the roles.
Right. So here it is. On-screen heroes are Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye, Anthony Mackie as Captain America, Chris Hemsworth as Thor, and Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. Why don't we have more of them? I mean, I get it. They probably have to pay him for it, but
yeah,
this is the Avengers ride, right? And also, by the way, I've been thinking about this a lot in detail, and I've talked to a few friends, obviously, because one of the things that really bothers me about this ride is that it's going to be based on, the battle with, what's his name?
King Thanos.
King Thanos. Thank you. So you're battling King Thanos. We've already passed that years ago in the movies. Why are we suddenly battling King Thanos again? And it kind of makes me wonder, are they going to be doing something with, Doctor Doom, where Thanos comes back? And that makes sense as to why didn't they actually focus on Doctor Doom instead of Thanos? Since that's the new movie that's coming out. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but I thought that was kind of interesting that they're focusing
to me, it almost does make sense, because we've kind of established that was the heyday for Avengers, and anything that's come after Endgame has not been quite the hit with fans. So it makes sense to go back to the Avengers that people know and love instead of just the current Avengers. I think the characters that are from that era of Avengers are the heart and soul, the classics, the ones that people are really attached to. I think the newer stuff, people may like it, but it doesn't have that same same draw that the MCU did at that phase. That phase was just, I mean, it's unlike anything else that was ever done with movies. So,
but it's funny because they're incorporating them into this, because look right here, you got, Ms. Marvel, who's played by Iman Vellani, and she's going to do the pre-mission briefing for everyone. So
right, but that's the way to kind of bridge a little bit, give the new fans something, but obviously the bulk of it is going to be with the old school Avengers.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, you also have the Stark Flight Lab, which they're showing off the ride vehicle, what it looks like, and it shows these are different mission briefings you're going to get from the other Avenger characters in there. Obviously, it's going to be Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, Anthony Mackie as Captain America, and then Brie Larson as Captain Marvel. They're going to be reprising their roles.
And flags in the chat for J-Laps with 5 gifted memberships.
Thank you so much, James. Really appreciate that.
James.
Yay. So
the memberships went to Fire Dragon, Popcorn and Candy Corn, Caleb Joshua Hill, Kite J1, and Scully Starfish.
Awesome. Well,
Scully Star Fashions. So again, thanks, J-Laps. Flags in the chat.
Yeah. Thank you, James. They did show what the gyrokinetic pods are going to look like, and they do, look kind of cool. I'm surprised they're not showing other pictures here, but they do look kind of interesting. But again, when you look at the model that they had at the show, I'm really kind of surprised that, it doesn't seem like a whole lot to it. And obviously everything's behind the scenes and whatnot, but when you kind of look at Avengers Campus for DCA, and then you look at the model that they had for Hong Kong, by the way, this is the ride for Hong Kong right here. It's going to be Avengers Tower, transforms the skyline of Hong Kong, Disneyland. This is going to be more like a Guardians of the Galaxy type ride. The tower looks just amazing and so cool, but it's also kind of interesting that doing like a Tower of Terror type in Guardians of the Galaxy type ride there. But you can see this is the tower right here. Oh, can I not blow it up? Oh, it doesn't let me blow it up. But this is the tower. The tower just looks so cool, especially the Quinjet on the floor, right there. And then where the Quinjet is, they'll have the Avengers come out to greet everyone, which is a lot closer to the public and really cool, where our building is like a second story where they come out to say hi and greet everyone. So, and of course, they're going to do a really cool new roller coaster and a whole new Spider-Man land over at Disney Shanghai Resort. So they're going to have this really neat roller coaster. They were showing it and it looked awesome. So I'm looking forward to that, obviously. So let's see here. Let's go back. We also have hey, one of our favorite parades is coming back, right? Magic Happens is coming back, in 2027. So that'll be awesome. I'm really excited that it's coming back. It was a really good parade. Well done. I was disappointed that they didn't bring it back for the 70th, but then at the same time, I thought, okay, if they're not bringing it back for the 70th, hopefully they'll come back later, but we'll see. And then when they announced it was like, yay, because it's a fun, daytime parade.
I just wish they would shift the second viewing a little bit later, so it's always a daytime and nighttime version.
Yes, that would be great too.
As soon as we get the time change happens, it's like there's a sliver of time where you can catch it at a proper evening showing, and then it just goes to it's
so good at night.
Yeah, nighttime it looks really good.
It does. I love the way everything lights up because you don't really get to see that during the daytime. The other thing they announced is Remember Dreams Come True. It's coming back to Disneyland and it's being reimagined. So I'm looking forward to that because it was definitely one of my favorite fireworks shows they had. So that'll be great to
always
see.
The reimagine.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, and that I like it and dislike it when I hear that reimagine, because to me it means that it could be very similar and they just change a few things and make some tweaks, or it could be completely reimagined and it's not exactly what we thought it was. It's just a whole new, same song, but maybe a whole new version. But but you know, we'll see. It was definitely one of my favorite shows, so hopefully they'll show it justice. And then of course the original World of Color returns to California Adventure. Thank you, because I've been so tired of Happiness and One. I'm so excited that the original World of Color is coming back, because
An
a lot of people haven't seen it for years. I know it's an updated take, but all right.
Just another way to say reimagined.
Imagine, right?
All I
how do
know
you
is
feel about
I only saw. I didn't ever watch the original World of Color. I don't think I ever bothered to stay for it, because I see pieces of it and I didn't really care for it. But the one scene that I really liked was the Little April shower.
Oh,
that
yeah.
scene, I saw that and I was like, that is fantastic.
Mhm.
I was enthralled by that little scene. And I don't know if it's necessarily the water doing anything. I think the water plays second fiddle to the music at that point. That song blaring that loud and that, you know, thundering along, it just, there's something about it. It was, I mean, if you guys know what I'm talking about, if you guys know the song Little April Shower, I don't know what it is. It's one of those pieces of music where you just go, somebody captured a little bit of magic somehow in it, and it's very unassuming. And yeah, like I said, it's just the one scene that for some reason is like just stuck in my memory, that I'm like, I really hope that part is still there when they do this.
Yeah, and if you guys aren't familiar with what Theme Park Casual is talking about, Little April Shower is from the Bambi movie. So exactly.
And it's like I said, when you hear it thundering through the speakers and everything, you're just like, oh.
Well, one of the things I always thought that was amazing about the World of Color, the original too, is that it wasn't just about, you know, the projections. It was about the water and the lights and the music, and that's what I really enjoyed as well. And the projections are always great too, but it feels like they rely heavily on the projections now compared to just the lights. So, and I
think that's a response to the fans. You know, I think there's a lot of people that, you know, when they take their kids, the kids are going to get bored with just the fountains for, you know, 17 minutes. And I get it, but
well, I'm not saying get rid of all the projections. I'm just saying it'll be nice.
No, I know, but I'm saying the reason why it shifted to a more, you know, relying a little bit more on the projections is because fans were kind of saying this is kind of boring, you know. And when you compare it to Fantasmic across the way, if you saw Fantasmic and then you go to World of Color, you're like,
yeah,
this is nice. You know,
Fantasmic is right now. Anything's better than Fantasmic. Oh, did I say that out loud? Oh, we're gonna have to talk about that later. We'll talk about it because I know that Danny and Cordy definitely have some thoughts about that. Real quick, finishing things out, we've got the Coco ride. Now they didn't say a whole lot about this ride. In fact, the only thing they showed at D23 was a statue of Hector, and that was it. Hey, we're adding this statue of Hector here in the land. Great. Okay. Now, one of the cool things they did is, and I'm not sure if they show it here. Oh, there's the statue of Hector right there. One of the things that they were doing, and again, they really didn't announce anything.
Our cuento begins a year after Miguel's adventure, where you'll enter a casa museo dedicated to the música of his great-great-grandfather, Hector. You'll travel by boat through Miguel's memory into the land of the dead. These aren't just old stories. It's family, la familia, and they're counting on everyone to remember them. It's always fun to tell stories, but even better to be in one.
Okay, so that was the announcement for it.
Can I just say one real quick thing?
Yeah.
That was a fantastic little reel.
It was.
Great production value, very well done. Teasing it without giving you anything. You know, I really liked it. Why can't they put that level of care when it's other important things? Case in point, Yzma. They filmed it horribly.
Oh, yeah, they did. Oh.
And it's, I'm not knocking the character or anything like that. You know, we can talk about the costume and all of that, but just the filming of it was so bad that it does a disservice to your product.
Yeah.
especially when you've got a world-class movie studio. It's like you can't hire somebody, that knows how to film things to follow to go and get the stuff for the social media team. Come on. All right, rant over. We can move on.
There we go. Yeah, unfortunately, they didn't provide a whole lot there at D23, but I agree with you. That was a nice little clip, and at least they let you know what the story is about, right? Okay, so you're going to this museum, you're going to remember this memory and relive what happened, a year after the events of Coco. And so, and I think it's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be colorful. I think it's going to be fun. I mean, even just at Small World, seeing how they redid that little scene with all the flowers around, and you got, Miguel, and you've got, what's the dog's name again? I'm trying to think of it.
Dante.
What's the dog's name? Dante. Thank you. It's so cute seeing them. I can only imagine what it's going to be like, for this ride. And obviously it's going to be a water ride. I think it's going to be very short. I still think it's going to be a 2-story, even though they didn't tell us anything really about what the ride's going to be like, because it's a very small area, unless they know something we don't, and when they're going to, take down that street for Disneyland Drive. But yeah, I think it's going to be really, really cool. Cordy, are you excited about this ride?
I am. Yeah, I think it's going to be really cool, and I think it's of course much needed over at that too.
Mm-hmm. And this looks like it might be at the very end of the movie, obviously, with some of the characters that are there. The other thing that I really liked, and this was kind of neat, and they got people involved, even though they didn't have much to show or to provide to people at D23, they had this one area where you could write down your favorite memory of Disneyland, put it in a box, and that memory is going to be added. So all the memories that were there are going to be added to the front entrance of the land where these planners are going to be. So it sounds like it's going to be something really, really cool. I'm not sure what they have planned, but I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing, mine and Ariel's, memories in there. And so, yeah, very, very cool. I think that was majorly it for the announcements of Disneyland Resort. Obviously, I just want to touch base on another rider attraction I thought was really cool that they showed, and that was where'd it go here? Oh, they talked about the Disney Believe ship. It's the newest ship coming to Nassau in the Bahamas. It's the biggest ship cruise ship that Disney's ever had, so that's really, really cool. But right here, Disneyland Paris attraction. This looks really, really cool. I think it's going to be an amazing ride. It's actually going to sit 3 people in a row. They did have restraints. I did see that there are going to be restraints for this one, obviously.
You're not sharing the correct one.
Oh, am I showing it? Oh, share this tab instead. There we go.
There we go.
Sorry about that. So it's the Lion King ride coming to Disneyland Paris, and it's got a log with 4 rows and 3 people in each row, so 12 total. And so that's quite a bit bigger than what they normally have. But they showed one scene with Timon, Pumbaa, and Simba there at the attraction. They showed what the log looked like, and the log looked really, really cool. Obviously, this scene here is with Simba grown up in Scar, but it looks stunning and amazing. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing more about this. And you can actually, I think you go on Disney Plus, you can actually see some of the stuff that they were showing. It's going to be really, really cool. It's actually 120-foot high Pride Rock that they're going to have there on the rider attraction at the very, very top, which is pretty cool. But I loved what they had to show, and I'm looking forward to seeing more about that. The only thing that still has me curious is they're building a water ride in Paris where it is really cold in the winter, and typically it's snowing. I don't know how many people are going to want to go on that ride, or who knows if they're even going to keep it open during the winter time. But time will tell. Was there anything that you guys were hoping to see at D23 that would be announced that was not announced?
No, not that I can think of off the top of my head.
I was going to say not really, but
Just kidding. I was really hoping to hear more about the Avatar. Now, I know that when I went there, they actually showed them.
Sorry.
What?
Barbara has one.
Did? Oh, what would Barbara say?
Murphy.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. That's
Mhm.
true. We thought we were going to get something.
Yeah, I thought we were going to hear about Murphy too, but we didn't hear about Murphy, unfortunately. I was kind of hoping that they were going to show more. It's really weird that you would show Avatar with the whole model, and the model was basically the same concept art that they showed previously, and they showed what the ride vehicle looked like, and it looked really, really cool. But there was no major details, and even talking to the Imagineers there, they really didn't have a whole lot of details to share with anyone about, hey, it's a new ride and attraction that we're working on, and we're excited that it's going to be coming to DCA. They kept saying, obviously, after the new parking structure is completed and built, we would, start working on this rider attraction. More to come. It's very vague and kind of disappointing, because I was like, well, you're showing this really cool concept art. What's it about? What's the ride about? Tell me about the ride vehicle. And they really didn't have much to share with any of us, which was kind of surprising. So, and then I was going to share with you guys too this right here. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. Let me see if I can share this tab instead. So they just shared this today. Speaking of changes and things happening, we were just talking about the parking structure. They finally broke ground today on the actual parking structure and transportation hub that they're going to have over there by Garden Walk. So they've been clearing that whole area for weeks and weeks and weeks now. To be honest with you, I thought they were already onto this and already started digging. It looked like they had, or maybe they just did a photo op today to make it official. But they announced today that they officially have started the parking structure. And the whole thing is, in order for them to start doing anything over in the Hollywood Land area, like Avatar Land, they really need to create this new parking structure and the new bridge that's going to, pedestrian bridge that's going to come over to the front of Disneyland and DCA. So they've got it started, and we'll see what happens. But I have a feeling, and I don't know if you guys have the feeling too, but I have a feeling that what's going to happen is we are going to get this new parking structure and this new Esplanade, and then they're going to say, guess what? Avatar's not coming. We're going to do something else.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's they're going to get the parking structure and everything done. Avengers Infinity Defense is going to open, Coco is going to open, and then they're going to start Tomorrowland.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time they're done with all of that and Tomorrowland finished, that's when they'll turn their sights back on either that section of DCA or Avatar. And
Gotcha.
Avatar may not be in that spot. So I think they're kicking the can down the road as much as possible with Avatar. And here's the part that I'm a little nervous about. I don't want them following the fans too much. It's like, listen to the fans, yes, but always be ready to do something that is just feeling right.
Right. Well, and that's, I'm with you on that 100%. And Cordy, I'm probably sure you are too, but I think that we've done so much with IPs and things. Yes, I'm looking forward to seeing Disney do different things. I agree. They need to listen to the public, but don't listen to them wholeheartedly. Right. Of course, they didn't with Splash Mountain. Oh, sorry. Did I revisit that one? Whoops. But, when it comes to, all this stuff coming down for, Disneyland Forward, I'm excited to see what's going to happen. And I hope they do some really fun, imaginative things, some originality. That's what I want to see. I want to see originality.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. It's like I wouldn't mind Avatar. I feel like it's in a weird spot right there at the front. I think if they said that it was going to take over, where the Simba lot is, and it was going to be when they extend DCA out that way, I'd be like, awesome. I can't wait, because what they did in Florida has just gotten rave reviews. So let's have our version of something, on that scale out here. I'm all for that. So I just like I said, it's just, for me, it's the weird spot. That's all.
What do you think, Cordy?
I think
Hang in there.
brain is past this whole thing. I'm just gonna wait it out for a little while.
Well, how about we do this, because I know that we got a couple other topics to talk to. We've been talking about D23 for most of the show here, but let's talk about some stuff I think that Cordy will really be interested in, and that is D23 merch, because I was able to get into some of the stores. It was kind of crazy. You'll love these, Cordy, but they had the D23 ears, which were really, really cool. Cute. The one thing I noticed, and Ariel had talked about it, this part right here, when it fits on the head, you can kind of feel it. So it's like, by the way,
the little,
yeah, it kind of sits right on your head, the little Mickey, the emblem. So she was complaining of it, kind of hurting her head, but she loved it, and she wore the ears. Yeah, and on the back it says D23 as well. They had a couple other ones. These were at the Walt Disney Studio store, and they had these ones. And it obviously has the Sorcerer Mickey, and then of course it has the D23 on the back as well. Now they had some really cool things that were Walt's office. So this is Walt's office right here.
Oh, nice.
So you got the 3H. You've got look at the Mickey Mouse. The Mickey. I know they're not.
Like the bow is you can remove the bow.
Yeah, you can remove the bows just like the other ones. And these are obviously all Loungefly ears. But I thought this was cool. Now, the neat thing about with all this stuff they had for the office, I did get this real quick. I'll show you guys. So they had, that's a Roosevelt shirt, but if you look at it, it's got the 3H on it too. It's got the old Mickey Mouse. But and of course I had to get the D23 Sorcerer Mickey one, of course. Of course, I got the Annie one. And then now the funny thing was they were really some of this merchandise. It was like, oh, you can only buy two. I'm like, why can you only buy two? They had tons of this stuff, but pins you can only buy two. Magnets you only buy two. It was like, really? Okay, whatever. The other thing I thought was kind of cool is they had some brand new. You guys are gonna love these. Oh, speaking of Walt's office. So for Walt's office, they also had little notepads that he used to keep in his office, which is cool. They had a whole thing on Walt's office. It was awesome. I really loved it. $10 for that. But they have some new things called Iconics. Now the Iconics were really, really neat. They had a popcorn bucket. Oh, so cute. It's so plushy. So cute.
Is it a squishmallow or is it just a plush?
It's a plush, but it feels like a squashmallow. But it's their own brand, and it's called Iconics, Disney Iconics. So they had the popcorn bucket. They also had the popcorn stand. This was Ariel's favorite. Ariel's favorite was this one. It was the trash can for Main Street.
Oh yeah, good old work.
I like that one. So cute.
So cute.
This is one of my favorite ones. It was the actual train. So that's really, really cool. Disneyland Railroad. And then what else they had? I think they had like a Mickey balloon. It was like the Mickey balloon. And it was red. And that was kind of cute. Let's see. Oh, hold on.
It's stabby.
Now you
minus the stabby.
The what?
It's stabby minus the stabby.
Not the.
Now, I have never, ever, ever owned a pair of these, ever, and I had to buy them. So they're the D23 Crocs that they actually had.
So now we can.
They had.
Crocs.
I am not wearing these. I am wearing these at home. I am not wearing these anywhere else, but they are the D23 Crocs, and they do have D23 on the side right there, which is kind of cool. What I do like is you got Mickey in the, although I'm sure he's going to get rubbed off quick. They did have Ramon, and I love Ramon. They were selling out of Ramon like crazy, but they are coming out with the Dinoco car, so that'll be kind of cool. And there's one more thing I'm going to show you. What?
When I did my little wrap up last week, I did tell everybody we do have to give Bob props for not spending $2,300 on a ticket to the panel.
Yeah, true.
Right.
So
because
he did show a considerable amount of restraint with that one. So
well, and I'm glad I did, because think about it. I would have gone there and gone, okay, I saw Neil Patrick Harris, who I've seen before in public, but he did a great job. And what did you guys tell us? Nothing really.
Yeah.
So I debated about this, and I got this the very first day, and thankfully I did, because the next day they were sold out of these. But I did get the Jose.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's
yeah. So his eyes don't move. His beak
The
does
debate
move.
went something like this: should I get it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and you know what I'm disappointed in? I didn't buy 2 of these. That's what I'm disappointed in. I should have bought 2, but they were $250 each, so they're kind of expensive. But it is really cool. I haven't even opened it up. It's still sealed, so I still have to open up and make sure it works. Hopefully it does. But he was kind of cool. I did ask the customer, so the batteries last long in this thing, and at the end of the first day, he said the batteries are not lasting very long. I'm like, wow. But he said it's been on all day. So I'm like, okay, well, touche. But yeah, I do like it. It's really, really cool looking. So maybe one of these days I'll take it out of the box.
Yep.
Okay.
That is a cool one.
And then, well, I just so you know, I got both of you guys a D23 bag.
Oh,
So with Disney Plus on Hulu on the other side. So there you go. So you guys have some bags coming to you. Oh, hold on for a second.
That's what I got from D23.
Right?
And this is what I got from D23.
Well, actually, there's 2 other things I have to show you. I only have the other ones in the garage. The other one's just a poster of D23. And then I did pick up this. I don't know if I'm going to do this as a giveaway, but it is a corksicle. And it's Walt's Office corksicle. And so it says Walt's Office on it.
Oh, nice.
With Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
It says corksicle on the back. And it's a water bottle. So a little tough to open, but it's got a straw and everything. So that is what I got.
There we go.
$1,500.
Nice.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
Yeah.
Bob's Hall.
Very nice. I'm glad you had fun though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the main thing. If you went and you were like just complaining the whole time, that would be the kind of thing where it's like, why do you go again?
Right. Well, you know what?
But you had fun.
I will say the very first day, and a lot of people realize this, everyone's checking up on me, and especially Danny and Donald's fan and Kelly DiMaggio. They're like, hey, you said you're going to be streaming. It's been a couple hours. What are you talking about? I'm like, I have been streaming for 2 hours. Something happened with Prism not communicating with YouTube, and it literally showed me streaming, and I could see people in the chat. I'm like, oh, people are chatting. I'm saying hi to everyone in the chat, but for some reason my chat wasn't working. Now I know why. So I literally streamed for 2 hours before I realized I was not actually streaming. So I stopped it, started it, and I had to go and repeat everything I had already done with everyone else. And so I ended up streaming for about 7 hours that day, 5 total of just, with, everyone actually on the stream. But it was a lot of fun. I will tell you this, that Thomas Maslum and Bruce Vaughn, who is the president, summing it with Prison. That's funny. Bruce Vaughn, who's the president of the Walt Disney Imagineering, they were talking about how this is the biggest D23 show they've ever done. And I was thinking about that. I'm thinking, that doesn't sound right. Last time they had it 2 years ago was much bigger. They had the whole showroom floor. This time, so they had the whole showroom floor, and they had the D23 Marketplace elsewhere. And when you went to the D23 Marketplace, it was another building for the convention center. So I was like, how can it be bigger when you combined all the stores into one building and actually made everything smaller? So I felt like they were offering less this year compared to 2 years ago. I think 2 years ago was technically a better show. Also, to get into any store, Disney store, you had to have a virtual queue. You wanted to get in the panel, virtual queue, and you had to get up every morning at 6 a.m. to try to get that. And if you missed it, you missed it. and only on Friday and Saturday did they open up the stores, some of the stores for standby. And on Sunday, they didn't open up the stores, all of the stores for standby. I think it was just the D23 marketplace, maybe one other place. So that was very difficult because there are things I want to do. Obviously, my daughter, and thank you to Kiki and Luca, because Kiki and Luca got me and Ariel into CP Doctor, and we got his signature. And by the way, we also have, I forgot a couple items. We got to get his autograph, so that was really cool. Sorry, I did forget. We also got our, I got to take this off. We got R2D2, by the way. Where's my visual effects? There we go. So it's actually, I guess it's R7 D23. So that you got that one, and Danny's going to kill me for this one, but so the Blackwing company actually is the one that created many of the pencils back in the day for the Imagineers to draw, or not Imagineers, but for the Disney artists to draw and whatnot, and so many famous authors and artists have used Blackwing writing pens and pencils for all the creative stuff. They were selling the pencils. I'm not much of a drawer, but I decided to get the pen. And so the pen, it feels good. It writes really good. I really love it. How much do you think this pen was?
I don't know. 125.
No, that's a bit much. Nope.
Okay,
definitely not. It was $80 for this pen. So, and you should have seen, because Ariel's like, "Are you serious, Dad? Are you really going to get that?" I'm like, yes, I'm getting it. So it is a cool pen. I do like it, and it's fun to write with. But yes, it's very, very expensive for a pen. I think it's the most I've ever spent on a pen, other than back in the day when you used to buy cross pins or something like that. So, all right, there we go. That's my haul. Questions, comments, sarcastic remarks in the chat? Bob's crazy.
Yeah, we knew that, though.
Hey, now.
Crazy for merch.
Crazy for merch, right? Oh, now my background's not working anymore? Beautiful. All right. Well, I'll just keep that on there. So we do have a couple other things that we need to talk about before our stream ends tonight. And that is one, we get to talk to Cordy now about something cool that she got to ride again. Fast and the Furious Hollywood Drifts.
Dying to get on that darn thing.
Oh my gosh.
Cordy, take it away and tell us how amazing this ride is.
Yes, it is. It was amazing. I got to go. Yes, they had Passholder days. So it started Wednesday the 19th through yesterday, 23rd. And so if you're a pass holder, you had to reserve a time. They're like 2-hour windows for each day. The last one being, I think it was 5 p.m. every night. So I just chose Sunday because I was busy Friday and Saturday. So to get Mr. California there because he has a pass. So I wanted him to be able to ride it. And it was just, I feel like, and I can't remember for the life of me if I was I knew I was in an orange car, but I don't know if it was in the second one or the last one when I went on day one. But we got the fourth car, and it was still smooth. Still feel like you're floating, smooth ride. But man, I don't know if it's because it was the last car. It was like, whoa. It was pretty wild. And even so I didn't say anything, right? Like you put the lap bar down and I'm like trying to pull it as, tight as I can. But I didn't say anything to him. I'm like, oh, that's what he said. He's like, oh, you're like, oh, he'll figure it out. So I saw him pull it down, We start doing all these upside down and corks. He's like, whoa. I mean, you get airtime. It's pretty cool.
That sounds exciting. I can't wait. Gosh.
And it was 15 minutes, because they did this. So I had heard the first day that people were repeating, right? They were getting back in line somehow. So I don't know if it was that smooth the first day, but yeah, yesterday I walked the whole queue because I was streaming until I got, They were so brave. They stayed in the locker. They were so brave. It was very dark in there. But
what a bummer.
I know. I was going to say that kind of stinks that that's what we have to do for that one.
I know, but you can
kind
kind of
like a be right back screen.
No,
or something.
I just left it so like they could hear, because you can hear all the sounds of like stuff going on in the background, because the lockers are right there, right where you get up and down the stairs. So
okay,
but yeah, so but it was like 15 minutes. And
yeah, I mean, so yeah,
awesome. That'll be the shortest time I ever wait.
So
right.
if it's a regular day, regular crowd, and they get put in the locker, how long are they going to be in the locker?
Oh shoot! It could be
so it's going to be that long after the locker? Ooh.
Oh no! I'm sorry. No, actually, once you get to the locker, it is pretty fast, because this was really fast. Like the first day, there was a bit of a wait because they'll let express through first. Mm-hmm. So yeah, there was a little more wait time before we went to the next stage, which is you go through the metal detectors after the locker, and then you have to wait in a line to get to the stairs, and then it's like 3 flights up.
Okay, so what do you think? Possibly about a half an hour.
I would say tops probably half an hour if everything's just, because they're quick. They load quick, like thinking there's only really 4 seats per car. Mm-hmm. But so far what I've seen, they're it's really efficient. They do such a great job there.
Yeah. Well, when they're, that's one thing I do like is like even the Mummy ride, they try to get you on and off real quick. And they try to do that with most of the rides or attractions at Universal, unlike SeaWorld. Oh, did I say that out loud? But it's crazy because I really hope that they have all cylinders firing and, car talk there, and that they're able to get everyone on quickly and the next group on and, off.
We're stuffed in there about 15 to 20
I love
minutes.
how she says it. We're stuffed in there. But yeah, it's and then the wall, they're building the third sound wall.
Yeah,
it's going up quick.
Yeah, they want that thing open.
Yes.
I'm sure they do. So, but yeah, I'm dying to get there, and I don't know if me and Sideshow will be able to get back there until FanFest. And that's hoping they do FanFest. If they don't do FanFest, then me and Sideshow will probably make a day and just either get day tickets or low passes or something like that and try it. But yeah, we're already talking about FanFest again next year, so that might be the first chance I get to ride it. So all the special effects will be broken by the time I go.
Let's hope not.
Yeah,
there's
not a lot of special effects, so that's nice. It's all ride.
Do you have a pass to Universal Studios, Danny?
No.
Okay. So you're just planning on going?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I usually do FanFest. That's been the times that I've gone to Universal the last 2 years. When I went with Sideshow this last year, we did the 2:00 entry and blazed through as much of the park as we could, so that he could see everything. And then we did FanFest, and it was so fun because he was into all the rides, because they were new, and they were the thrilling rides that he likes. So Power Hour was like classic Power Hour, where it's like, I think we did Mummy 3 times, ran over to Transformers, ran back to Mummy, and then we were like going up the escalators thinking, okay, maybe we can make it to one last one and get him on Hippogriff, but we didn't make it. We just missed getting on Hippogriff at the end of the night. But yeah, we were running around, and he really likes Universal. He really thought it was a good park. So we'll definitely go back. I just don't know if it'll be FanFest if they do it, or if we'll just get tickets and try to go for a day.
Well, definitely don't buy HHN tickets because you cannot go on
No.
Hollywood Drift unless you do the RIP tour, which is crazy. Just to let you guys know, the RIP tour now, they give you unlimited express access, admission to the Halloween Horror Nights. You get an RIP tour perks, including an expert tour guide, gourmet meal, VIP trolley to the back lot, and more. Plus, you get Hollywood Drift. And you get complimentary valet parking. It's $479. The crazy thing is, if you already have a ticket for Universal Studios or you have the pass, to add on the tour is still $420 to add that tour. Oh, so it's like, ooh.
Yeah.
So that's the only way you're going to be able to experience. What's
Otherwise,
that?
I mean, if they made it too accessible, then it's not really an RIP.
Oh, exactly.
True,
that's what I was going to say. They're at least letting those people that pay that extra money, they're getting a proper product for it, I hope.
No, they are. But what's interesting is previously they had listed Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift as an available ride.
Mm-hmm. If you bought a ticket when it listed that, you get to ride.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
They're honoring that, and after they called it, they're like, "That's it."
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. And you see, that is good business right there. Okay, we changed it, but we're going to go ahead and honor it. So that's really cool. But yeah, I'm excited about checking it out and seeing it eventually.
So Brian said the difference in price is just the ticket, right? Because the tickets are very inexpensive, in my opinion.
For pass holders, yeah.
Well, even for HHN, it's
is it like FanFest only like what $75 if you want to just get in at the.
And then I think what is it now? It's like $140 or something for a pass, 3-4 fair pass. They lowered it again, so I gotta call Brian and get my refund.
Wait, it's $299 now, right? For the Fear Pass, the Ultimate Fear Pass.
I don't do Ultimate because I don't want to go on Saturdays anyway, but it's too busy on Saturdays.
No, the Ultimate. Fear. Wait, the Ultimate Fear Pass is no blockout dates.
Right, I just do.
You do the free Fear Pass? Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that's only $179. So, but they allow Saturdays or no on the?
I don't know if we get 1 or 2 in there, but I don't go on Saturdays anyway. So for me, it works.
Gotcha.
It's just too hectic on Saturday.
Yep, I hear you. I know I'm probably going to buy my pass either tonight or sometime this week for Universal HHN. I've never done. I've been to it many, many times, but since I've been a streamer, I planned on doing it the first year, but ended up not working out. And then last year, I really, really wanted to do it, but unfortunately, with my dad becoming ill and going to the hospital after a stroke, I couldn't really do it or justify it. Yeah. And so now I'm hoping that this year, no holds barred, I can do it and go several nights. So, and I'm crossing my fingers. I'm hoping that everything works out. I'll be there first night. Are you going the first night as well, Cordy?
I think everybody's going to be the first night. But yes, of course.
Gotcha. I know Brian Sevilla will be there. Huh?
Yeah. I'm always torn with the first night of stuff, like a first opening day. It's because yes, it's kind of cool to be there, but it's also just so hectic. And for me, it's just like stupid stressful. I get way stressed out on it. And, unless I'm hanging out with a bunch of friends, that can kind of keep me, then it's like, I don't like going to those places on opening days and stuff like that. Cause it's like, like I said, if you're by yourself, it's like you can't dispatch somebody to go hold a table, or you can't hold a table or something, you know what I mean? Or hold a spot, the way people are. And so I just,
I'll to the wind, do an opening night.
Well, I've done some of them. Some of them I do, but it's, like the first showing of Magic Happens. Last year I got lucky that they did a preview of Paint the Night on a Wednesday.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And so I was like, oh. And what did I do? I grabbed my workstation and I sat there for like 2.5 hours waiting for the parade, if not longer. It was just like, It's the first. It's a preview. I've never seen it. We're just hanging out. Sorry, guys.
Mhm.
This is the stream right now.
All right.
So,
Well,
and HHN is one of the few places that'll still let you stream in the mazes, right?
right.
Double.
Well, they made a big deal in Knott's Scary Farms Nightmares Revealed event, and I thought it was interesting because one of the creators of Not Scary Farm came out and said, "Okay, we're not letting anyone film in the mazes." And seriously, you've got nothing but content creators out here. And now, granted, probably a lot of them are going to opening night and media night. They're going to be able to film the first night, but you got a lot of people who aren't part of the media who like Living Dead fam, and if I was there and Cordy was there, and we're not part of that. So now you're trying to rally us up and say, yes, we're not allowing any filming in the mazes. It's like, no, dude. And he had to rally he's like, come on, let's hear it for that, and finally people was like, hey, okay, but to me, I get his point of, hey, we want people to be able to experience the mazes and not spoil it for anyone else. But you also have a lot of people who, like, I saw comments from the video that I saw online where people were saying, hey, I'm overseas over in Europe, I can't experience it, I can't fly over there. I love seeing these streams because I can experience it. Obviously it's not like really being there, but at least I get to see what it's like. And but at the same time, I understand where the creator is coming from, but at the same time I feel like they're really limiting themselves. It's like Six Flags is really not doing any favors for themselves. Like, you want people to go out there and promote. I agree that there's some people who go out there and they ruin it for everyone else the way they film. I mean, I try to be as conspicuous as possible. I dim the brightness on my phone. I try to keep it close to me and not anyone else. I'm not trying to ruin that experience. But it's also the way that they let people in too, because I noticed that when you go to the HHM one over in Las Vegas, they do let you live stream if you wanted to, but there's the connection's horrible in there, so that's why I didn't. I just kind of filmed them. But you go in there and they actually split you up and they make you wait at least 30 seconds to a minute or longer in between groups. And seriously, if it's your family, they only let your family in, and then they wait, and then they let the next group go. Now the only problem is if you catch up to the group ahead of you, then obviously it can cause a little gum up in the line. But that was really, really well done. I know there's a lot more people going to Knott's Berry Farm and HHN, so it's hard to do that. But I think that it's a real big bummer that they're not letting people do that at Knott's Berry Farm and the Six Flags parks. So
yeah, because it really, I mean, I remember, I'm sure we all heard from people that got a pass because they were watching the streams. I mean, that happened other times too, but like, especially for Not Scary Farm, that was a big one.
Yes.
Well, I hadn't planned on buying a Not Scary Farm pass this year, and my daughter's like, I want to pass it again this year. I'm like, why? She's like, because I want to go, and it's and I get it, and so I'll buy it. I'm going to buy a pass for us because she wants to go 2 or 3 times. It's just worth it to buy a pass, if you're going to go 2 or 3 times. But I at the same time, she's like, are you going to stream? I'm like, well, I can't stream the mazes. And I know that some of the streamers like Living Dead Fam, they go out there and they'll do the actual scare zones, and that's kind of cool. But at the same time, it's just not the same. Yes, you can walk around the park that way, but you can't take anyone to the mazes. So I don't know. I felt like it was just not worth it. So I was going to focus on HHN this year. I am going to go to the Queen Mary with the family this year, so that'll be cool. We did get the VIP passes for that, so I'm going to film it, hopefully with my new Luna Ultra camera, and then I'll just do a separate stream. I would never go to Scary Farm if it wasn't for streamers. Oh, that's true, Roto Kamesh.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Brian Sevilla with a $5 super chat says, FYI, pass holders can buy up to not frequent free passes for $134 for HHN. That pass just omits Friday and Saturdays in October. So you can buy them for your friends?
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's a really good deal. And then, of course, if you're a season pass holder, especially I think with the platinum one, you get a free ticket to go.
Yeah.
So that's kind of neat.
Yeah, they do.
And I think that's great. SeaWorld used to do that, and they got rid of that, unfortunately. So that's why I'm not sure if I'm doing SeaWorld this year. But But I mean, and I know we've got to talk about one other topic real quick, but with Halloween now coming back to Disneyland, seriously, last night it was so hot at Disneyland. I'm sweating and the humidity's up, and I'm thinking, how are we celebrating Halloween in August? This is crazy. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like it's just way too early, and I mean, yes, the Haunted Mansion holiday's back. It's great, but we're going to see this thing for 5.5 months. So I don't know.
Yep, that's part of it.
Yes, I remember that too.
And
did I see him when I was there? No, I did not. We won't talk about how they abandoned me and left me to fend for myself.
Well,
I'm not better.
Not better at all.
But see, now you love it. Just like you're going to love the swinging gondolas as you go on it over and over again. She's like, nope.
I'm going to have to still.
That's a negative, Bob. That's too funny. Well, even though Halloween has started at Disneyland and Noogie Boogie has started, what are your thoughts on Yzma now that you guys have seen her?
The costume still just is not quite right. It does not look Disney quality. The actress, she's fine. It's. I mean, when you've got a wholly unique voice in Eartha Kitt, it's going to be really tough to kind of match that. But the costume, it looks flimsy and
it's not missing stuff. Like,
yeah, it's like supposed to be big fluffy feathers, like right here. So something like
the boa.
Fur. Yeah, it's supposed to be like that. It just, they usually do such a great job with the characters. I think really, the only ones that we've ever really had like a big reaction to was Syndrome, because it was, I mean, it's the bodysuit. So there's always issues with stuff like that. It doesn't matter what the character is. It's like the bodysuit characters are always feeling a little awkward. And then Doofenshmirtz. But that's taking a 2D character, making him 3D, and realizing, wow, that's really weird in 3D.
It is. But I will say, I think they've done a really good job. Now that I've seen him 2 years in a row, I actually like Dr. Doofenshmirtz. I mean, I've always liked the character on the cartoon, but I think they did a pretty good job. And so I'm okay with him. But Yzma, I agree.
That's what I mean. Yeah, it's like maybe it's going to take some getting used to, but I still think the costume is just off on Yzma. They really could do a much better, much more stage quality costume.
Yeah. Well, and now that and obviously going back to Oogie Boogie this year, and I know you are too, Danny. Cordy's on the fence still, but the thing is, I love Villains Grove. I love the villains. Although I got to tell you, why do they still have Agatha for the Marvel area? Can you please bring in Thanos? Bring in someone else that is a really cool, Marvel villain. Anything.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't attempt a different character, because
they need to.
That one, and I get that you want the interaction, but I think what's the one? Is it Night Moon? Is that the character?
Yeah,
I think that one would have had people going crazy, but I don't know. Is that a villain?
He's not really.
It's like it's almost like an anti-hero kind of thing, right?
Well, right. Well, because it's mostly the villains and where they pass out the candy. It's all the good guy characters, and they can still have him. Like Bruno and things like that. They have in the other areas, but Moon Knight. There we go. Moon Knight. There we go. But I just feel like they could bring out so many other. I mean, they could bring out Doc Ock, or they could bring something other than Agatha. I hope they get rid of her for next year, because they need to replace her. And then the other thing is too, I'm surprised they kept Syndrome. I thought Sid was so much better, but maybe they felt like they had overdone Sid. And I feel like they could have chosen another character, but I think they just wanted to keep the same. They're trying to keep the same props and whatnot for those areas for at least a couple years. The one thing and I know I'm going to disagree with a lot of people on this one, but after watching the new Madame Leota's, dance party or swinging, what is it called?
Swinging Wake.
Thank you. I was very disappointed, to be honest with you. I know I haven't seen it in person, so I will save my final judgment for that. But the floats are great, and they brought the floats back out, and they added a couple new ones. It's pretty much the same scene for the Haunted Mansion. They've just expanded it, but here's my issue: the song is not as catchy or as good. There's a few catchy moments in the song. You never see Madame Leota. At least I didn't see her when I saw the two different versions or streams, and then you hear her. But the other thing is, I love some of the things, like the new ghosts are cool that they're flying around and whatnot. Obviously, they have the hitchhiking ghost. They brought Sally Slater out, which is really, really cool. And of course, Constance is out. They didn't really show the other stretching portrait ghosts. They have the gravediggers, which are amazing. But before, they were really swinging their shovels around on the ground, scraping them and pounding them. And it was really cool and exciting. And I felt like they didn't do a whole lot of it this time. And then my biggest issue with dance parties, and this is what I don't like about this dance party, because I don't consider it to be a parade at all, is that you have to be in one of the 3 locations to actually see the whole entire show. If you're not there in one of those 3 locations, you will miss what they actually do for the whole entire show. I think the cast members did a great job of dancing. They were really energetic and enthusiastic. They did a wonderful job. I just kind of felt like it was underwhelming compared to what I really enjoyed seeing. The parade before was really cool. It had a lot of things, a lot of different villains. It had a lot to it. And I just felt like this one was a little lacking. It's good. It's just not great. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
I have not watched it, and I'm probably going to keep myself in the dark until I go. This is one of those ones where I feel like I think I'm going to surprise myself with this one rather than catch the spoilers. So
did I say Sally Slater was in there in Ghost? I don't listen.
No, I mean I've seen pieces of it. I just haven't watched the full, the full breadth of the show. So I'm just I think I'm gonna do that with this one. Just be there that night and catch it and see what I think of it.
Barbara, and no nubbins. Oh, thank you, Road Commish. Yeah. Oh, and popcorn candy. Or sorry, popcorn candy corn. Yeah, I it's this that I know that they had to cut it down this year, but I was really hoping that they were going to do something really kind of cool and spectacular, or at least, well, here's my thing. I'm sure that they do it in front of the areas in which the people buy the dessert party, but I would have a hard time paying for that, knowing that it's such a short show. And if they didn't stop in front of me, I'd be like, what? I'm sure they do stop in front of those places. But that's the thing, is that you have to be in one of those 3 locations. And if you're not, then you're going to technically miss the actual dance party. Yeah. So, Okay, well, let's move on to our last and final topic, because I think this one deserves to be talked about. And it's this right here. So we actually, it was just announced that they have put up 12 new signs around Tiana's Bayou Adventure, reminding people to sit down during the ride, and that they also need to make sure they do not stand up. And if they do, they will be not just removed from the ride, but ejected from the park, right? The funny thing is, someone made a very, very humorous song out of this on Instagram, and I wanted to share that with all of you. So we're going to play it for you real quick so you can hear it, because I think it's pretty funny and amusing. So,
and put up 12 new signs around Tiana's Bayou Adventure, because apparently Remain Seated needed a sequel. Sit your butt down. 12 signs. Moses came down the mountain with 10 commandments. Disneyland needed 2 more for the Bayou. Permanent assistant titles, Port 5. The signs say failure to stay seated will result in removal from the park. Not the ride. The whole park? You wanted standing room? Well, Disneyland gave you walking distance. Disney can build singing frogs, an audio animatronic princess, and a 50-foot waterfall. But its newest engineering challenge is keeping your butt cheeks in the seat of a hollowed out log.
A 50-foot drop is not a standing ovation.
Mama Odie said dig a little deeper, not stand a little taller.
Keep your seat, child.
Now fans are arguing over lap bars because some boneheaded guest behavior became everybody else's problem.
Okay, so we'll stop it right there. But I mean, that is so hilarious. Oops. Hold on, it's still playing in my ear here. Oops, I think what happened to my there it is. Okay, so I thought that was hilarious. You guys can definitely go back and see that on Jim Paradise 123 is who posted that. I thought that was pretty hilarious. But yeah, so Disney has gotten pretty darn serious about if you stand up in that ride, they will eject you from the park. They won't just remove you. You're gone and out of there. So, but it's kind of crazy because you think about all these years we had Splash Mountain, right? And the last couple of years we've had Tiana's Bayou Adventure, and no major issues with people, standing up and doing this or causing problems. So it's kind of crazy that all of a sudden someone tried to, get out. Obviously, a little teenager tried to get out and go to the next log apparently, but it's so awful. Now you got 12 signs around the park or around the ride reminding you to sit down and don't move.
Yeah, a lot of those came up pretty quick because I remember noticing them going, are there always this many signs? It's like, it feels like there's a lot. And so.
Well, the signs you used to get before were like, hey, you may get wet or you will get wet. And that's pretty much what you saw. Now it's, hey, you will get ejected from the park if you stand up.
Yeah. I don't even know why anybody would bother doing that. That's just dumb. But
I agree. Spaceship Ears.
Yeah, it's all social media's fault.
Temptation to post something crazy.
Well, I'm getting tired of all the stuff that people are like, oh, I'm gonna, what is it, like eat the Matterhorn puff or whatever while I'm riding the Matterhorn. It's like, don't do that.
No.
And don't lose your phone on Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Like,
come on. Yeah, but seriously, I mean,
I mean,
that's the kind of stuff you got to pay attention to. That's why I only go with shaky cam now. It's like it's a locked in vice grip on the phone. It's a nice strong wrist strap, that's screwed into. It's like that thing's not going to go flying out of the log at the very least. It might, if it slips out of my hand, it might smack me in the head, but that's about it. But yeah, I mean, but I'm talking about the people that are just like doing purposely, inappropriate things, eating while you're on a roller coaster.
People are going to copy you, right?
Right. And it's going to keep
have thousands of followers.
Right. And then and from there it's going to ramp up because, they ate this. Well, I'm going to cut my steak while I'm on the, it's like, come on. And that's and it ends up ruining it for everybody.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's unfortunate they're doing that, or it had to be done. But hopefully nothing else comes of it. And Disney's been handling it case by case basis. I'm actually surprised that they did not, trespass the kid or the family, or they didn't do something other than they really didn't hold them accountable. It just basically said, don't do the skin, then throw a bunch of signs. But yeah, I don't know. What were we gonna say, Casual?
No, I was just agreeing with you that because it's just I'm surprised they didn't do something more. I was really nervous about it. I was really thinking, all right, this is going to be it. This is going to be that straw, and it's like we're not going to get to stream on Tiana anymore.
Right. Well, and just like I see some other comments in the chat here, it's just like people who are doing other crazy things on other rides around the park, and unfortunately, people, do some crazy things. I think it's worse now because, like Spaceship Beer said, and like Cordy was mentioning, because of social media, now you see it on the news and you see what's happening. Before, you never see that on the news because we didn't have social media. We didn't have cell phones recording everything. And so you would hear about it maybe. but yeah, you didn't really, get to see that experience. And then, of course, there was this thing too that you didn't see, but you heard about it probably. And I'll bring this up real briefly. And by the way, if you guys have any questions for Theme Park Casual, Cordy, or myself, go ahead and start throwing those in the chat so we can do Q&A as soon as I'm done talking about this last little topic. Let me bring it up real quick. You guys may have seen something that I posted yesterday. So while I was at the park last night, me and my friend Chris were sitting on the train, and we get to Tomorrowland Station. They said, "Oh, this is the last train, going around the park. You'll have to get off at Main Street." And we're like, "Oh boy," because we're trying to get up to New Orleans. And then literally a couple minutes later, they said, "Sorry, folks, we're evacuating the train. Everyone has to get off now. We cannot take anyone any further." And some people had just gotten on the train, and we were like, "Well, okay, that's kind of weird." And then we walked over, and it looked like Pirates of the Caribbean was closed. And we went to go on Haunted Mansion. The line was super huge. So then we go back. Train station still closed over there. Go on Pirates, and it's completely closed. We're like, "Wow, it's closed. What's going on? Something must be happening. This is really weird. Why would they shut down the train and then now, Pirates of the Caribbean?" Well, it's because there was a report of a fire at Disneyland behind the attraction. And you can see here, and this obviously is from the, I forget what the name of the app is, but 911 was called, firefighters reported. And look at this, Anaheim Battalion 2, Anaheim Truck 6, Truck 3, Truck 1, Medic 6, Medic 3, Anaheim Safety Officer, Structure Fire. I mean, they had a lot of people coming out there, but apparently there was, from what I've been able to research and find out, someone had a cell phone mobile charger, power bank that caught fire. And I don't know the extent of what happened after that. It was pretty quiet on the whole front, but it was reported, and they did go out there and they were able to put it out. So that's a good thing, but kind of explains what was happening at the end of my stream last night. That's for sure. So, but thankfully everyone's okay, and there's no other major issues or anything like that. So always excitement at Disneyland. Oh wait, why am I still sharing that? All right. With that, let's see. No, Mitch mentioned, did you see that the ride operator shut down Montezuma, the Forbidden Fortress, because a lady pulled out her phone to record the loop? Yeah. And that's very, no, I didn't see that, but I guess you guys did. But yeah, that's a thing. If they tell you not to bring out your cell phone, you shouldn't bring out your cell phone.
Yep.
Oh, Mike McCain says, "Good evening, Bob." Hey, Mike, how are you? All right. Was it a piece of cellophane waving? Let's see.
Yeah, they just had that GV, the phone charger, the brick. One caught on fire, or one was, I guess it was on fire.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Well, too.
And Paul, have a great night. Hope you have a good one. Paul knew it. And Shannon Marie, thanks for joining us.
Good night, Paul.
Really, Fire Dragon 57. She's like, I think we should get about 20 of us in line at Tiana's and stream and sing that song. Jetta's asking, Cordy, can you do the video of Fast and Furious, the chest mount?
No.
Yeah, my understanding is that they've said no recording on the rides whatsoever.
Just meta glasses.
Just meta glasses, which now Knott's Berry Farm and Six Flags will not do. I really wish that the other theme parks would adopt something like Disney/SeaWorld. At SeaWorld, you can actually film on the rides with a GoPro as long as you have the proper equipment, and you can get it checked out at guest services, and they'll even give you a card saying everything's been checked out, you're good to go, and then you can go stream on those rides. But unfortunately, they just don't do that at certain theme parks.
Yeah, I wish they would do it was nice when I went to Lagoon that they just let me on. I went with shaky cam just because the coasters are pretty intense there. But yeah, they were fine with letting me, shaky cam, wrist strap. That's it.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Good night, Tom. Hope you have a good night.
The amount of people, like you go to Universal, and I think 9 out of 10 people are going to film.
Yeah.
And sometimes I have to say I get nervous when I'm on like Thunder Mountain and I see somebody holding their phone like way up high and I'm like, if that thing hits me in the face.
Yep.
Yeah.
Come on, Cordy, just go like this. Cut it.
Oh, yeah, that will not be pretty.
No. No, see, my issue is usually I'm sitting behind a woman who doesn't, put her hair up, and then I'm all on the right. Has anyone got a new Dole Whip cup at Trader Sam's? I got the new Dole Whip cup. I love it.
Yeah, I'm possibly going to try to do that on Wednesday. We'll see.
So, Mike, they actually didn't ban cell phone usage. Basically, you had to have a wrist strap with your phone or gimbal so that you could still use it. But they recently let that go. And so as of, what is it? I think it's about, was it back in June? I think it was. I want to say it was back in June.
A while ago.
Yeah, that they started letting people use their phones and gimbals, and you don't have to have a wrist strap anymore. So. Buddy Hepburn says they stopped the coasters here. I'm not sure where here is, but it happens sometimes multiple rides in a row where they stop the cars and tell them to put their phones away before they restart the ride. Brian says metas, but only at certain parks.
Yeah.
People were using them at Knott's again, so I don't know if it's.
I think it's probably the cast members who like going.
But you have to get through security.
Well, yeah, true. I don't know. But sometimes, so for example, the other night I walked in, I had my new Luna Ultra Insta360 camera, and I had the battery packs and everything. It's so weird how sometimes your stuff goes off and sometimes not. I didn't have a backpack, didn't have anything else. It didn't go off, so I was able to walk in, no problem. So that could happen with meta glasses as well. Oh, here you go, Cordy. Did you watch back the stream in the locker?
I did.
You're like, wow, it's so dark in here.
But we were laughing because he's like, oh, can we go back and watch that? I want to see what could they hear? And so he wanted to know how long they had to wait.
Aww. Gypsy Sparrow said, happy to see you all. Thank you. It's Mitch's wife. Hope Mitch had a great birthday, by the way, Mitch. And we also have one gifted Park Streamers Hangout membership from Teacher Tammy D. So thank you, Teacher Tammy D. Really appreciate that.
Thank you, Tammy.
Thank you. Flags in the chat, everyone.
Congrats, Donald's fan, for snagging it.
Yep. And Spaceship Ears says, got a jet. Have a great night, pals. You too. Thank you so much for joining us. And make sure you go check out Grand and Miraculous because he has an amazing channel, and he's going to be streaming tomorrow night at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. Mitch says the guy who videoed. He was passed as she was sitting next to him. Oh, okay.
He was wearing the meta glasses and he looked over and she had her phone out.
Oh.
And then the last ride operator, the one right before you go out of the
station,
saw, and then they stopped it and they all had to get off and they got express. I don't know if she did. Hopefully not. I don't know if they gave her a warning and said, here you get one and don't do that again, or what they did with her. But
yeah, I don't know. Betty Hepburn says, "Oh, here is California's Great America." Yeah, that's part of the Six Flags parks. So, and Mitch said, "Yes, had a great day. Just had apple pie for dessert. So happy birthday, Mitch." Oh, Mark. Hey, how you doing, Mark? It's so great to see you. He was part of our Chalk Walk team and says, it's always a true pleasure to tune into your live streams. As always, three of you are awesome. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that, Mark.
Yep, ran into Mark on Saturday morning.
Ah.
Oh, that's awesome. Very cool. Yep, Cordy is right. Oh, here we go. Paul brought up an excellent point regarding the People Mover. What if they implemented a ride through the old Tomorrowland attractions on the People Mover? That'd be kind of cool. Something like the Tapestry of Happiness. That might be neat.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So Brian says, I hear no Halloween Hootenanny at Scary Farm this year. Yeah, they're not even doing the Candy Mountain this year either, which is
Really?
it's kind of a bummer. They're not doing that. And I don't see any other questions. You guys see any other questions that we haven't? Oh, Hope was asking, can you read the description about Encanto ride? I don't even have that prepared, ready. Sorry. Sorry about that, Hope. Our good friend, the Rogue Attraction says, I think Disneyland will get something for Mickey's 100th in 2028. Oh, I'm sure they will.
They'll do something, but I don't know what. I'm not sure if they'll do a new show or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no Haunted Mansion glass cards. That's right. I need to share those with you guys real quick. So let me show them briefly. For those of you who don't know, I was actually hit up by the Arribas brothers over on Main Street in the park to do a collab with them. And it's really, really cool. Let me bring up my page real quick. There we go. And basically, I was able to show what the new Haunted Mansion cards look like. So let me share them with all of you because I did promise I was going to show them on the podcast. So thank you so much for reminding me there, James. And let me bring it up so you guys can see it. So I created this whole, let's see, where'd it go? There we go. So I created this whole little video, and I want to say thank you to Cordy because she was with me and kind of helped me with a couple ideas on how I was going to shoot it and do it. And so it was really cool. So thank you again, Cordy. But with that, it was this one right here. All right, so that is the Haunted Mansion glass cards that they have. I don't know. Oh, 1 second. I think I might have them here. So if you guys, yes, I brought them out so I could show you guys. They actually come in these really cool black and purple boxes. And then as you pull them up, you will see this one is the actual Haunted Mansion right here. And it's a beautiful, as I drop the other ones, it's a beautiful card. It's all black glass, as you can see here. And then on the back, it's got this design. So they go for $39.99. And I want to say thank you again to Rebus Brothers for letting me collab with them. Very, very cool. All right. I think we're done for tonight. Oh, you know what? Actually, before we go, because we had, let me do this real quick. We actually have some more memberships to give out for the month of August. And this is our last one, by the way, because our next show will be on September 7th. It's actually Labor Day. So we are going to actually take the day off from that for the Park Streamers Hangout. And we'll be back on the following 2 weeks to do our show, unless we happen to do another in-park stream, which could happen. But there we go right there. So we should have 5 more gifted memberships, and those went out to Gypsy Sparrow 17, Mitch's art. Oh, husband and wife. There you go. Boomstick Rebel, Cab Family Adventures. Oh, our good friends, Cab Family Adventures, and Mythic Observer. So congratulations to all of our new members and flags in the chat for them, everyone. Yay. Very, very cool. With that, we're going to say adios and do. We hope that all of you have a great week and obviously have a great Labor Day weekend. We're looking forward to coming back a couple weeks after that. But before we go, let's go ahead and talk to Cordy and see where we can find you. And when are you streaming next, Cordy?
You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, and Discord. I think this heat is just too much. But
it is.
I'm going to try to go tomorrow, day stream.
Oh, okay. Wow, you're braving that. I got to tell you, I made my stream for 6 p.m. last night because I was thinking I will, go at the end of the day so I won't have to deal with much heat. Yeah, right.
It's hot at midnight.
Right?
It's crazy. Actually, I feel like it's hot. So I was there Friday during the day and it was hot. And then, but then at night it was, the air was so thick, like it was even hard to breathe. Like it was so humid.
That's exactly what I was saying.
Yeah. Like worse than the daytime. Like the daytime you have the sun, right? You got to contend with the actual sun hitting you. But then at night it's just, it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, it is really tough. But thankfully we are all hanging in there as much as we can. And the park is closing at 11 now instead of midnight, so at least you'll get out there a little bit sooner. But Theme Park Casual, where can we find you, and when are you streaming next?
You can find me on YouTube, X, and Instagram, all of them at Theme Park Casual, and I will be back in the parks on Wednesday for your typical favorite Wednesday night stream from SoCal in Disneyland that starts around 5 o'clock.
Awesome. And you can find me at Barry Place 28 on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and X. All right. Before we do let you go, just want to mention one other thing real quick, because since we're not doing a show on September 7th, we'll do probably a Chalk Walk recap when we come back, and we're probably going to do some of our giveaways for Chalk Walk, but also wanted to share with you guys how our Chalk Walk team is done. Obviously, we can still raise money until September 2nd. So mods, if you can share the link in the chat for the Chalk Walk, we'd appreciate it for the Park Streamers. But we've raised $31,050 with 24 participants, which is amazing. So kudos to our entire team. Obviously, our goal is 38,000. We're still trying to, get a little bit closer to that goal, and maybe we will here in the next, week or so. But September 2nd is the last day to raise money for our Chalk Walk, and then we'll be done for the year. And then when we do come back from our next show, hopefully we'll be, doing some of the giveaways and thanking some of the people who really helped us raise a lot of money this year. So, and thank you to everyone who's already donated to our page, whether it was $10 or $15 or $100 or $1,000, whatever you did. We just want to say thank you. Danny, Cordy, and I can't say thank you enough for everything that you guys have done. Danny, Cordy, do you guys want to do anything else?
No, I think I'm good.
Cool. Yeah. Well, kids, dreamers, and jammers, it's been a pleasure hanging out with all of you guys tonight. Come hang out with us again in a month. Wow, it's going to be a month before our next show, but forward to hang out with you guys. And please come hang out with us whenever we're streaming in the parks. We really do appreciate you guys and your support. So have a great night, and we'll see you on the next Park Streamers Hangout. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye, kids.